Hey, it's MK, and today I am scrapping on a ship, and I was inspired by Lacey Robin. Her layout just really stuck out to me, having that really cool geometric shape behind all of her photos. So I'm going to start with by making my title out of the Coastline Thicker set, and then I'm also going to use this laser cut piece of floral from the 49 and Market Sunburst collection. From my little kit that I purchased from the cruise, I have these little pieces here, and truth be told, I forgot about that little crown because as you can see, I'm sticking it to something and then I forgot about it. Also from the 49 and Market Sunburst collection, I have this cool word called fun, and then this little label that says life with you is grand. I have these little spyglasses, binoculars, and then my two photos. I also pulled this out because it has red in it, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to end up using it, but they're from Kaisercraft, the Technologic collection. So not really sure, but I did pull them out. I have a scrap of this amazing cedarwood paper it's the hexagon paper, and it's from Cedar House, not Cedar Wood, by American Crafts. I also have this Stampin' Up! Holographic paper that I'm going to map my photos with because I felt like it matched the chrome on the car. And then for my background, I picked out this piece of paper from the 49 and Market Beached collection because I thought that it was as close to a red as I had in my stash, without being it hot pink. I also went to my Cricut for this one because, like I said, the geometric shape from Lacey's layout was very inspiring. And so I pulled out two shapes. One is from the last year's 31 days of cut files. Now, this file is available in a set of, I want to say 14, if you guys are interested in that set. And then this is my architecture arches. It's hard to say. So I'm not really sure which one I'm going to use, but mine comes in a set of 3, and I'm not familiar with where Lacey's is from, except for the fact that I believe it is a pear tree cut file. So I'm sharing with you guys, I felt like I needed to go into my travel collection. So I'm sharing with you guys a few things that came from my travel set. I've got some Minte everywhere, I think they're everywhere. I've got some soft-spoken tags, or I should say sticker sheets. And then, of course, my Minte Traveler set. Now, I'm not really sure exactly where I'm going to go with this, but I do know that this is only going to be an 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to be shrinking my whole layout down into an 8.5 by 11 and trying to decide what part of this gorgeous paper do I cut off. Oh my god, this was such a pretty paper. I could not believe it, but I loved how it looked like it was almost red, but not really. So I'm also going to be using my tearing ruler in order to get the angle that I want. But as you can see, it wasn't quite long enough to reach the angle. So I ripped it apart part of the way, and then I moved it down to get the rest of the way. So then I'm going to decide which piece I want based off of my pictures. And I knew right away I was going to cut my photos down. So that way I could make more room on my 8.5 by 11. There was a lot of dead space that did not need to be in the photo, and I wanted the viewer to concentrate. I'm also putting Janet and myself on the outside of the photos instead of us back to back, because I feel like your eyes were drawn to the empty spaces when I put us back to back, as opposed to having us facing into the layout and all the blank space being in the middle. I really felt like you could really see us and we were the focus of the layout, whereas when I put us back to back, the focus of the layout was no one sitting with us. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly put that holographic paper behind our photos because I know the glare could just be unbearable. And then I'm going to decide which one of these designs that I wanted to go with. Now, I picked the gear sign or the gear image because of the fact that it was a car. And now this is a couch made out of a car or resembling a car. I don't really know if it was a true car or not, but I felt like that would be a good nod to the car. But I really did end up liking the architectural arches. Oh my goodness. And then I went ahead and cut off all of the white spots from my roughed up edge or my ripped edge, and then I inked the edge and lightly, very, very lightly went over the edge with my edge distresser. Now, I first picked out walnut stain, and it was too dark. Then I went and picked out frayed burlap, and it was also too dark to color my cut vial. So I went with pumice stone. And pumice stone was absolutely perfect. But because I started with something too dark, I ended up having to flip my cut file over so that way I could color it on the plain white side and you don't see that dark side, because the edge that I happened to start with was going to be visible on the entire layout. Whereas if I would have started at the bottom, then it would have been covered with Janet's photos. So either way, it was fine. But we were headed to go get our drinks refilled at the refilling station. And when you purchase a package, they have this refilling station where you have a specific cup, and you get the cup on the first day that you are on your ship, and it's the only cup that the refilling station recognizes. In order for you to get your anytime free refills, right? It's a all you can drink package, and of course the only thing I drink is water from those things. I don't do soda or anything like that. And so we were on our way, and we looked over at this very empty. I don't know if it was a restaurant or just a bar. I'm not really sure. I didn't even catch the name of it. Maybe Janet did, but I did not. And saw this really cool couch, and we just had to walk in and take a few selfies. The best part about most of these bars and restaurants and things were completely open floor space. Like, there was no doors keeping you out. There was nothing locked, and you had to wait until it was open for business in order to go in and just explore and look at all of the unique ways that they have decorated each and every little space of this ship. So, to be honest, it was, I don't know. I enjoyed it, especially when nobody else on the boat got up as early as I did. Well, there's a couple people, especially on the last 2 days. I thought that was strange. But I really did enjoy it, because then I was able to go in and get people-less photos of some of the things that I knew I wanted to document, and I wanted to share with other people in case they didn't get the opportunity to document as well. So I checked out the softly spoken or soft-spoken phrases as stickers, and I really wanted that tag, and now I can't remember what the tag said on it, but I do end up bringing it in about twice. And I definitely want to add this Bramble Fox everywhere title, and I really thought about the title Cool Things Everywhere, and I liked the everywhere because it just reminded me of a road trip. It reminded me of Route 66 for some silly reason, and so did this old car, and I mean, things just started falling together. So I really wanted it to say Cool Things Everywhere. And then, like I said, I keep bringing in that tag, and maybe it's because it has an orange little dot over the tag hole. I'm not really sure, but I end up switching it out for a few things that I found in my Minte Travelers collection. And then I wanted to pull out this geo, which apparently my fingers didn't want to pull it out, but I wanted to pull out this geo and put this globe, somehow incorporate the two together. I also wanted to bring your eye over to the circles like Lacey did in hers. She backed all of her circles in what looks like a star paper, And I knew one of my circles was going to be covered with the title, so I wasn't too worried about that. But the one that was showing, I backed it with a compass and then added a few of my own circles just by adding some buttons to the layout. And then, like I said, I want to incorporate somehow that globe and the geotag and mesh them together. I haven't figured out how yet, but right now I'm going to cut my floral in half so I can use it in 2 spots on my layout. And then I'm going to put hashtag cruise down at the bottom, and in my Minte file or my Minte ephemera pack, I found that little, what looks like maps. What is it called? Like clustered together. And they were the perfect base for my hashtag cruise and my shining little star. It was the only little star that had, just that same iridescence that my photo mats do. And then of course my title also matches. And I just really wanted to draw attention to the chrome on the car, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my buttons down, but I'm not going to glue my last little button down because of the fact that I knew, I tried to pick that compass back up, but it wasn't. Anyways, I knew that I was going to use that camera and the binoculars in that same spot. So I wanted to make sure my button was shown at the same time. All right. So I decided to put the globe inside the geotag, but because the hole wasn't big enough, I decided to put the globe on top, and then to make the geotag match a little bit better, I inked the edges with, of course, walnut stain, because that's what I inked the wood grain in as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here with the wherever, so that way it propped up and helped hold up my acrylic piece, because my acrylic piece is now on top of the floral and the geotag, and so it's going to be popped up off the page just a little bit. And of course, I went to go put it on the page and realized that there was masking all over, and the packaging clearly says, "Don't forget to peel." I ignored the directions and tried to put it on my layout before peeling, and it wasn't until I turned it over when I realized that it had a masking on the back, because there was actually words on the back, but I didn't realize there was one on the front, and I should have left them on there because I liked how matte it was, and now it's glossy, but it's okay. I will get over it. So I'm going to add a camera and then put my little button down, and then I'm going to sneak my little binoculars in, because really you needed binoculars to see everything in the boat. And I still look and see other people's photos and the things that they saw that I never saw. There was like this alligator coming out of a sewer with a hat on. I never saw that, and I don't know if it was on the boat or at one of the islands. I don't know, but several people took pictures of it, and it's like, how did I walk right by that? I'm just so shocked. All right, so I'm going to share with you guys my close-up, and then when I get down to the bottom cluster, I'm going to realize I have not put that cluster together yet. And it took me showing you guys up close and personal to realize that myself. I got so focused on how well my title and my upper piece came out that in all honesty, I just really didn't. So this little tag says, "is a grand adventure." And of course I tucked away all the other stuff because it makes it seem like, you're there with your spouse, right? Or you're there with your significant other. And most of my sayings for all of the collections say that, and it's very annoying. And so I wanted to try to figure out how to cover it up. So I just cut off one of the leaves to cover up the word "is," and now it just says "a grand adventure," which I thought was pretty cool. All right, you guys, so that is my layout. I am so super happy with how it turned out and all the things that I was able to put on this 8.5 by 11 page, and it doesn't look crowded, at least in my opinion. It's to each their own, right? But I really did love how this turned out. So thank you so much, Lacey, for such a great inspiration piece and letting me lift you today. I really, truly appreciate it. I will link the file for the pear tree one down below, as well as my 2 cut files that I shared with you guys. Also, don't forget to check out the playlist for May I Scraplift You and everyone playing along this month, as well as Janet Fritz's channel to see how she is scrapping on a ship today. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.